I am completely honored by the fact that I was asked to do a walkthrough Wednesday. Most all people that know me, they've started affectionately calling me Cruising Krista. I have been doing cruise training every Tuesday, probably for the last 2 years. I started off pretty slow, just because, you know, I think when we start training, we get a little nervous, and now I would open it up to the world. You guys, if you've ever needed any kind of cruise training, I do record them. I do have them on my YouTube, so you guys can go check them out there. Travel by Tilly. Other than that, I am super excited to be here, you guys. Just a little bit about my cruise background, right? I loved cruising. I started cruising when I was 12, 13 years old, and I loved cruising. I used to go on cruise line portals prior to being a travel agent and just play around with itineraries. I used to play around with different cruise lines, and that was kind of what really got my juices flowing about wanting to be a travel agent. I had never done really any other travel. I have now spent hundreds of days at sea, my longest cruise being 18 days. If I could get a retirement cabin on a cruise line, I probably would. People laugh, little unknown secret about me. I have horrible motion sickness. Horrible, horrible, horrible motion sickness. So when people say, I don't know, I don't want to cruise because I get motion sick, you just need to talk to me, because I can get anybody on a cruise ship. I think that everybody should absolutely be experiencing a cruise, especially if people are wanting that all-inclusive, but they want to see a bunch of different places. And so today what we're going to do is we're going to dive into Carnival. Okay, how many of you guys here are registered for Carnival? How many of you, put in the chat box, how many of you are registered for Carnival? Me, that's imperative, right? We're going to do walkthrough Wednesday on Carnival. If you're not registered yet, it's not hard to do. You're going to go to goccl.com. You're going to follow the information. However, I will tell you, it is probably one of the trickier ones that people have to get registered for, only because they don't follow the instructions of using their agent ID as their first name. So write that down if you're not registered yet, or maybe you have a business partner that's having issues. You guys always lend that extra hand. I registered a week ago, but still, it might take, we always say 4 to 7 business days with registrations. It may take time. Go to your email, check to see if maybe you have an email there. Awesome. So you guys, how I'm going to kind of do this is I'm going to show you, I'm going to spend like the first 30 minutes. I'm going to go through kind of a walkthrough of the site. And then the last the last part, we're talking cruises, I'm talking ports, right? The last part of it is going to be on how to actually do a booking. Because I know in theory, like I'll play with it, which I think that's something that a lot of people have a hard time. I don't know how to book. Just get in there and play with it. You guys, even, let me tell you a little secret. Even if you accidentally book something, it can be deleted. All right. Just don't start putting credit card numbers in. All right. So I've registered. I keep getting an email saying so it's not your mentor. Let me be very clear. I have no control, nor do your mentors have any control on the approval. What it might say is that the administrator. Now, usually I find that when emails are coming from GoCCL, it's because you have not registered correctly. So go back, re-register, make sure you follow those instructions very specifically. With all vendors, you need to make sure that you're following the instructions step by step, because each one of them is a bit different. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. And thanks guys for coming to spend your Wednesday night with me. That was nice of you, right? All right. Okay, so here is the login screen. I'm gonna go ahead and sign in. Oh man, doesn't everybody just want to be on? It doesn't make you want to be on a cruise. It makes me want to be a cruise, especially those of you that are experiencing snow right now. Let's get on a warm cruise somewhere. Okay, so up at the top, you guys will see here, booking. If you guys go to booking, it's going to show you individual stateroom. It's going to show you this group booking spot. Now, I know sometimes people talk about group bookings and it makes them a little nervous, right? It's going to make you a little nervous. You guys, I have a whole other training on this, so I'm not going to dive into group bookings today. It's a whole other training, right? Down here, you're going to be able to manage your bookings. You can actually look up your individual group staterooms, group bookings. You can upgrade your clients. You can look up rates and promotions, booking procedures. So we're going to click through just a couple of these. So promotions, these are promotions that they currently have going on. 72-hour plan for vacation sale, early saver bonus sale, onboard, credit, and New Year savings sale. Now, you guys be careful. If you guys decide that you're going to promote a sale, please make sure that you look at the end date, right? Booking window, January 31st, booking window, January 26th, 28th, so on and so forth. Yes, you guys, I'm going to go over all of that stuff. Let me just kind of walk through this. I'm going to show you guys a bunch of stuff. We're going to do questions. I'll make sure we're going to go through all of that at the very end. Okay, guys? So this is the different promotions that they have going on. If you guys need booking procedures, it's going to go through. You guys could find every bit of information you ever could want to know. What kind of travel documents? How does online check-in work? Want to look at deck plans? I know a lot of people, we like to Google. I'll admit I Google too, but there's so much information here. Onboard experiences, onboard celebrations, dining and beverages. How does the dining room work? How does the Cheers program work? Is there a dress code? What's Wi-Fi like? How do you call home? Cell phones. Anybody that's ever been to one of my cruise trainings, if you've ever been to one of my ins and outs of cruising trainings, I hit on this one big time. A lot of people don't know this, but you got to put your phone in airplane mode unless you want to accrue a bunch of charges. Money and gratuities. How do tips work? How does the sail and sign-on board account? Carnival really makes it very, very easy for you guys to look at this. What to pack, passenger bill of rights, cruise ticket contract, disembarkation, all of that information. It really lays it out for you there under booking procedures. Now we're going to go down here to VIFP Club. VIFP stands for Very Important Fun Person. It is imperative when you are qualifying your client, and for those of you that are new, qualifying your client means getting all of that pertinent information so you can properly build a quote. When you are building a quote for any cruise line, you need to make sure that you get their loyalty number. Sometimes you're going to get a client that says, well, I looked up a cruise and I have these offers, or hey, I got an offer and it's a Cheers package offer. Now, if you go to look up the cruise and you say, well, I don't have a Cheers package on here. And they're like, well, but on mine it does. I got an email. I know that it's available. It's because you guys did not enter their VIFP number. So please make sure to do that. You guys can look up their number. If they don't know what their number is, you simply need to know their first and last name and birth date in order to look it up. You guys can also read up on the VIFP club information. Ships and sailings. You want to know deck plans? You want to know what a cruise ship looks like? All of their fleet, all the ships in their fleet are right here. Now, for some of my more advanced people, anybody know what this ship is? Put in chat box. Anybody know what this ship is? Let's see. What's the other one? Anybody know the name of the other one? Right? Luminosa and Venezia, and I probably botched it. Those are two newly acquired cruise lines. They came from, I believe, Contra Costa or something cruise line. And at the middle of last year, Carnival did acquire these two ships. They are very Italian themed, and one is going to be out of Australia. The other one is going to be more Mediterranean and over there. But those are two newer, not new ships, but they are newly acquired, meaning that they are going to have a little bit different look and feel. So you guys can check those out. There's specialty sailings. Venezia is for my group cruise for New York City. That's awesome. I went to media event on one when it was in LGB. Awesome. What I miss? Nothing. You missed nothing. Specialty sailings. So it's going to show you different ships that might have specialty sailings on there. Marketing tools. How many of you guys are using the marketing tools that our vendors and suppliers are giving us? How many of you are using the marketing material that our suppliers and vendors give us. We always talk about how we get free collateral, we get free marketing material. If you guys are not using the marketing material that our vendors and suppliers give us, you're working a little hard, right? There are tons and tons of vendors out there that have marketing material. Same thing with Carnival. You just ordered a bunch of stuff. That's awesome. So marketing collateral library, destination flyers. You guys, it's very easy. You can come in here. What do you want a destination flyer on? Alaska, Caribbean, Mexico? You guys name it. You guys download it. You guys can input your own information. There's onboard flyers. There's program flyers, e-brochures. Maybe you want to be able to send an e-brochure to your client. Maybe you have somebody interested in a charter meeting. Maybe you have somebody just wants to know, that one's a little outdated, 2022, but it's okay. It's pretty much the same. Entertainment, weddings, renewal of vows, all of this information is here for you at your fingertips. You just have to use it. Web banners, webinar backgrounds. Anybody ever been to one of Drew's trainings? And he always has some fun backgrounds in the back. Man, he's in the Centrum. I want that background. Man, he looks like he's sitting on a pool deck. You guys, right here, webinar backgrounds, you guys can use those. Logos, videos, images, brochures. Is anybody here following the Carnival YouTube page? Where do you think when Carnival wants to announce things, where do you think they're going to announce them? Yes, they're going to email us, but they put things up on their YouTube. Agent photos, agent videos. I really need to figure out how to register so I can get this stuff and get sales going. I'm new and totally clueless. Chantel, again, like I said, it's very easy to get registered. You just have to go to your back office, and I'll get into the back office. There's a couple of things I'm going to show you later, but make sure you go under those suppliers and you just follow the instructions. I follow them on Facebook and YouTube. Absolutely. So you guys, please, please, please be using those marketing tools. They give them to us for us to use. Absolutely, Kelly. If you're going to be doing vendor shows, if you guys want to do festivals, you guys want to do community events, you guys should have that. Shoot, if you're just driving around town and you spark up a conversation, you have a box of something right there with your business cards. Now, additional links, Be the Hero program, the fun shops, Before You Board Facts, Cheers Beverage program, and Shore excursions. We're going to click on Be the Hero program. Now, you do have to have a booking number, and I'm not going to input any because I don't want to screw up any bookings, but a better stateroom can make your whole vacation better. Get your upgrade started now. You guys can input this information and you can see if they're available for a upgrade. Now, many cruise lines, they actually do something where you can actually bid for a suite. Maybe you're in a balcony room and they'll allow you to bid on a suite because guess what? That room is going to be empty. They would rather have somebody in that room. So then they'll bid for it. So then you get suites or whatnot for cheaper. So again, we were under marketing. No, we're right here. So booked clients, Be the Hero program, the fun shops. You guys can purchase things from Carnival. You have to input your booking number. Training and events, Learn and Earn, virtual ship tours. And then you guys can also follow Adolfo. He often puts different trainings out there and does live webinars. Now, agent programs, advisory committees, fundamentals of successful selling. So they're even going to tell you how to sell, how to be successful at selling the product. Virtual cruise parties, insider picks, Go CCL Navigator, financing powered by Uplift. Now, you guys, Uplift is a whole other thing. So make sure you talk to somebody before you start doing Uplift. Understand that Uplift is something that your clients actually have to qualify for on their own. And then if qualified, can apply that to many different types of vacations that can be used, they can use Uplift on. So they used to do actual ship inspections. I believe the last time I asked Drew that they hadn't started up yet, but I know that that's something that they do want to eventually get back up and running. But it is something that they used to do, is actual ship inspections. Now under agent rewards, travel agent rewards program, as well as the award-winning cruise line information. So make sure, oh man, it's wigging out. So learn and earn. This is where you guys are going to go to do your training. This is a whole other side of the back office. Now, how many of you who are using or booking already with Carnival, you're entering your bookings? How many of you guys are entering your bookings? I'm hoping that that's only because they're the only ones that have done bookings. You guys make sure that you're entering your bookings there. Also, enter reward codes. Does anybody know where reward codes come from? I know there's a lot of new people in here, so I'm probably hitting you with a lot of information. You guys know where you get these reward codes? I enter everything. No worry, we'll all get there. So how many of you guys are CLIA card holders? How many of you guys have went and gotten your CLIA card? Me. So when you go, what's the benefits of CLIA? There's a lot of benefits of CLIA, right? They do trainings and whatnot, but one of the great things about being a member of CLIA is the bonus commissions. We always say don't leave money on the table. So if you're booking cruises, you should probably going to get those bonus commissions. So make sure you get your CLIA card. Now what happens is on CLIA, there's actually going to be a section for those bonus commissions. You're going to fill out the form, and the way that Carnival handles theirs is that once they receive that, they're going to give you a reward code. You come and plug that reward code in. Okay, so make sure you guys are going through this. You guys can look at your accounts. You can enter bookings, enter reward codes, bonus point opportunities, and learn and earn. So Kenna, what you do is, so when you go to CLIA, let me actually, so when you go to CLIA, you're going to log in and there's going to be a bonus commission section, and it'll give you a form to fill out for you to mail in or email. They're all a little different. There are trainings. I don't want to dive too much into CLIA, but there are trainings recorded on how to get your CLIA. Is there a limit on codes? It seems like they only let me do one. Catherine, I don't know. Somebody else recently asked me about codes. I've never heard of that, but that doesn't mean that that's the case. I know I've entered multiple ones. I don't know if it's like one per cruise. I've never heard that. I would probably look into on the CLIA site. All right, so learn and earn. You guys can come through here and you can do your trainings. Yes, cruising.org. That is that website. So my learn and earn progress, you guys can come in here and you guys can do your trainings. And then course list, it's going to show you. Oh man, I have an incomplete one. How naughty of me, right? So they're going to have all of these different things here for you guys to complete your training. So make sure that you guys do that. There is a shopping page. Who doesn't love shopping? Now, those you're going to be able to use those points and actually purchase things. So that's what this is here on the shopping side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, so I've gone through all of these different things, and some of them, you know, you just gotta, we went through the marketing, but what I want to do is I want to walk you guys through a booking, because I find that that's where a lot of people have some questions. They struggle. They want to know what certain things mean. I booked my very first cruise after getting my CLIA. I want to know how to earn more than my Carnival booking. Okay, no problem. Make sure that you, so on your, let me see if I have my, I did it on my phone. So let's see if I can. I don't think it's going to let me. I got to create a new account on this computer, so I'm not going to be able to get into it. But that's something there. Like I said, there are videos already on CLIA, so I don't want to dive too much into that. Does Carnival offer an affiliate marketing site like Disney? Not all of them do have affiliate sites. I know Disney has like mini sites. I know Virgin has affiliate. I know Golden Tickets, like all of those different ones do. Is everyone who goes on Carnival extroverts? Absolutely not. You don't have to be an extrovert in order to cruise. Heck no. No. Change it to my name so I could not register for Learn It, Earn It. Said it does not take numeric entries. Need help. Alicia, I would just call. I would call Carnival. I know that's happened to some people and they've had to call Carnival to get it fixed. When I try to make a profile, it tells me to take out my Archer account number and put my real name. But when I went through the training, they told me I had to put my Archer number, not my first name. Correct. Same thing. So when you get registered, it's linked to your agent ID number. But for Learn and Earn, some people, for whatever reason, they do have to get that additional help. Yes. Can you find? So Leanna, great question. There is only one cruise line that does adults only. Only one cruise line that does adults only. And that would be, Harley is correct, Virgin Voyages. So if you don't like, I guess I shouldn't say if you don't like kids, if you don't want to travel with children, if you don't want children to be around on your vacation, then you are limited to Virgin. Now, with that being said, there are adult only areas, usually on ships. So you can kind of get tucked away to an adult only area, but not. I'm mostly introverted, but love cruising. Yes, just booked myself and friends a cruise before I got licensed. Am I able to put that under me and get paid? Absolutely. I love that question. Yes. So yes, you can. However, there are stipulations. So you can call Carnival Cruise Line. It's called a cruise takeover. Now, there are situations where there's guidelines, I guess I should say. There's guidelines for doing a cruise takeover. So if you have a friend that's like, oh my gosh, Krista, I wish I would have known you were a travel agent. I just got done booking this cruise. You can call up Carnival, you can call up cruise lines and say, hi, I'm Krista. I'm a travel agent. I have a cruise that I would like to, or I have a cruise of a clients that I would like to take over as a travel agent. They're going to get certain information. Now, every cruise line is different how you do that cruise takeover. Some have forms that you have to fill out, some you have to call. Now with Carnival in specific, I know that when you call to take over a cruise, you're going to call and they're going to ask you for a PIN. It's a PIN that the client created when booking their own cruise. So make sure you get that from them. If your client says, I don't know the PIN, they're going to have to call Carnival, get the PIN so that way you can do the cruise takeover. But yeah, absolutely. You can do cruise takeovers. Now, like I said, every cruise line has different guidelines on cruise takeovers. Generally speaking, if the cruise is completely paid off, sometimes they won't. However, if maybe it was booked pretty recently and it was paid off, they might allow you to. But I would just call, because I am definitely not afraid to pick up the phone and ask questions. If they tell me no, they tell me no. So just call and ask. Do you have to pay for the Cheers and Bubbles packages in full when you order it? Erica, great question. Yes, when you are booking the Cheers package, any type of extras, they're typically going to ask you to pay for that in full, which is why typically when I ask when I'm booking for my clients, I say, hey, let's worry about the cruise first. Let's make sure that you can pay. Let's make sure you pay off the cruise before we start adding cheers and excursions and all of these other things, because most of those things are non-refundable. So the last thing you want them is to say, oh my gosh, I can't afford to pay the cruise, or for whatever reason things happen. And now they have the cheers package and the excursions and all of these other things. And then they find out that they're not refundable. I had that happen to a client. She was adamant, I want to do the cheers package right now. And she lost the money when she canceled. So celebrity is royal, correct. All right. Carnival actually tells you how much commission you get as you are doing. Yes. So, all right, let's dive into this. Do you have to have a CLIA to book? Nope, you do not. Oh my.
It looks like we're having some technical difficulties. Just give us a few moments so we could get Crista back on the line.
I apologize, everyone. Back to the show. All right. So we are going into the booking engine so that way we can work through a booking. So like I said before, we're going to go ahead and go to booking and then individual stateroom. So now we're going to go ahead and pick some dates. Okay. So we're going to go through all of these. So we're going to go to dates. We're going to go, let's say they want to do August. They want to do August of this year. So we're going to click on August. Now you guys can input either, you can put in whatever state they're located in, because sometimes they have deals based on just the states they live in, but also it's important because sometimes insurance is different. The travel protection is different depending on the state that they live in. So now you guys, if they're military, if they're interline, if they're over 55, it's very important that you guys input this information. Again, state, we're going to go ahead. Let's just pick Georgia. Why the heck not? Our platinum peaches from there. Sounds like a good idea. This is where you guys are going to input their VIFP number. Okay, type it in. Remember, if you don't know it, they don't know it, you can easily put in their information. I guess let's use one. I guess I'll use California as an example, since I'm going to show you guys how to look up a VIFP number. So I'm going to use my husband's. There's that information. You can add the number. You guys see here, I put it in the VIFP, it changed the state. You guys can also, like I said, military, interline, or over the age of 55. Now, where are we sailing to? One of the nice things about using these filters is that they want to go in August of 2023. It's going to give you the ports that are available for August 2023. Now, let's choose a cruise. Let's go South Pacific. I never use South Pacific, so we're going to go South Pacific, okay? Now we're going to go to ship. Guess what? There's only one ship. So we're going to click on the Splendor. Departing from, only one place to depart from. Duration, now are you looking for a 6 to 9 day? Are they looking for a week? Are they looking for longer for that? We're going to go ahead and put a 7 day and then search sailings. Interline is going to be in the instance of Carnival, travel agents, anybody that works in the flight industry, pilots, flight attendants, whatnot, are interline, as well as I believe some hospitality, other hospitality fields, but for sure airline as well as travel agents for interline. Now, interline isn't the same. The definition of interline for every cruise line is not the same. So be mindful of that. But when we're looking for our own cruises, we can click interline and it will show us the deals. So now it's populated the cruise. We've put in all of this info. August of 2023, South Pacific, Carnival Splendor, leaving out of Sydney, Australia, 6 to 9 days. It's now populated 1. So now you guys aren't having to go through multiple different cruises to dwindle it down. It does it for you. So use those. No, medical personnel is not considered interline. So this is going to show you Thursday, August 10th, 2023, 8 days South Pacific. Departs the port of Sydney, Australia. The ship is Carnival Splendor, group booked. Don't worry about that. Interline is airline, and with some companies, Interline does include travel agents. So you guys are asking that question, and I have a feeling I know why you're asking. There are some cruise lines that have deals for medical personnel, police, fire, whatnot. Carnival does not. They have Interline, which is just airlines. Do you have to call to do your Interline? No. Nope. You can do it. Other cruise lines? Yes, but we're going to focus just on Carnival. So right now, we're going to look at this cruise. So you have your interior, 365 average per person, ocean view, average per person, balcony, suite. You guys, please do not quote from this page. I repeat, do not quote from this page. You will have upset people because you will see as we go through this, it says average per person, right? Sarah, we are in the instance of Carnival, we are considered interline. But again, every vendor is different. So it just, you got to check. You can't just assume, because I will be very honest. I thought that interline was the same. I thought travel agents were included in interline everywhere. And I called up a cruise line and said, hey, I would like my interline rate. And they said, oh, okay, where do you work? And I said, well, I'm a travel agent. And they said, travel agents don't qualify for interline. And I said, oh, okay. I have no problem in learning, right? So we're going to go ahead with this sailing. Now, this is why I said you don't want to quote from that page, because it was an average, right? Not necessarily. This is when it's going to give you a couple different rate codes. No, commission's not any different if you do it over the phone or on the GoCCL website. Good question. So now over here, you guys can change the number of passengers. I'm just going to do it with 2, but you guys can up or change your passengers right here. Now, let's say this second person also has an interline, or not an interline, also has a VIFP number. You guys can put that second person's VIFP. Maybe they're different levels. Maybe one's red and one's gold, right? Maybe one's platinum or whatnot. So you guys make sure that you're putting everybody's VIFP number in there. It's also very imperative, even if they have the same status, if you guys put their VIFP number in, it's going to make it a lot easier during the final checkout and booking, because it's going to auto-populate all of their information for them, so you don't have to input it. So get that information. So when you guys go through here, it's going to give you the different things that are available. Now, obviously, this is giving the rates available for my husband's VIFP account. It might be different if you put somebody else's in. So you can see here, Fun Select, Seize the Fun, Limited Time Australia Sale, and tariff rates. I actually spoke to somebody recently with a cruise line, and they said, I have no idea why anybody would book a tariff rate. So I'm going to just lower that so you guys can't even see it. We don't even look into it. Okay, so here we go. We're going to see all of these different prices, upper, lower. Upper, lower, you guys may see it available, may not see it available. Upper, lower is a bunk bed situation, meaning they have a twin on the bottom and a twin on the top. Okay, so if you have a husband and wife going, unless they don't like sharing a bed and they like the bunk bed situation, please make sure not to put them in an upper, lower, because they're going to get to their room and somebody's going to have to sleep on a bunk bed and they're not going to be happy. Is there an age minimum for the VIFP account? No, every single person that goes on a cruise ends up getting a VIFP number. What are those tariff rates? They are always, yeah, Catherine, again, like I said, I talked to the cruise line and they said, I don't know, but nobody ever books them, so why book them? They're super expensive. So yeah, so every single, doesn't matter the age they're going, it's like their account number with the cruise line. It keeps all of their stuff. Now, as they cruise, they're going to gain status. So when they turn 18, they very well could be whatever status. Same thing. My daughter was born and on a different cruise line. She was born into the top tier of that cruise line because she fell under her parents. So right here, you guys can read the different details. 2-category upgrade, 2-category upgrade does not apply to suites. Make sure you guys read this so that way you know what it applies to and what it doesn't. Seize the fun. Fares are per person. Offers in 1/31/23. This is an Australian cruise, so they're going to be doing it European or military date time. Reduced deposits are non-refundable. Pay the balance on final payment of the booking. Room upgrades, exclusions apply, valid for new bookings only, subject to availability, exclusions apply, surcharges, no surcharge. Travel agents may charge a fee. All info is correct, right? Read all of those. Now you're going to come down here, limited time Australia sale, upgrades may apply, onboard credit may apply. Again, you guys can read these. Non-refundable onboard credit amounts, 3 to 5 day sailing, $50 per person or $100 per sailing. So if you have 4 people in a room, they're not going to give you $200. It's going to be a max of that $100. Plus 6+ day sailing is $100 per person or a max of $200. Select 7-day sailings from this is going to be, I'm not sure if they're putting May 2nd or February 5th, because up there it was in military, right? $150 per person, $300 per sailing. Onboard credit cannot be applied to cruise fare. $50 AUD per person. Non-refundable deposit is applicable to all sailing durations. Free upgrade, offer capacity, right? You can read all those. Diana, we're going to go through that too. Oh yes, single supplements can be done with a lot of different cruises, so you guys can do that too. So you guys can go through here on the details of all of those. So what we're going to do, 365, 379, 478, 696, 1291. So obviously these two are going to be our best offers. So we're going to go ahead. Let's just go click on balcony. Because this one, if you guys remember, this one offered onboard credit and that one did not. Yes, I'm going to go over that. I don't know what your name is, but it doesn't say your name. That's so weird. So we're going to go ahead and click continue. So now a couple of things on here. It's going to show you the different categories of rooms. I get people that ask me, Krista, what does 8N stand for? What does 8F stand for? You guys, these are internal codes. They're not something that you're going to understand. They're not things that are going to make a whole lot of, it's internal. Okay. What you need to do is what you're down here, right? They have they said the upgrades. So if you book an 8A, you're going to be upgraded to an 8C. This has to do with location on the ship, whether it's forward, aft, or mid, whether it's the bottom or the top. What you can do is just play with them. So you're going to see here, 8C is upgraded to an 8E, 8F is going, 8D is going to go to 8F, 8E is going to go to 8F, and you guys can see the different price differences here. There's not a whole big difference. I mean, from 8A, $695, $709, $712. Okay. Now you guys can click on the quick quote button. And this is going to give you a quick little rundown. There is an agent view and a guest view. So it's going to show you here cruise rate 572, 572, non-commissionable cruise amount 140, 140, taxes, fee, and port expenses. If you don't know what that means, read, right? I'll give the explanation there. It's going to tell you what the taxes, fees, and port expenses are, and your total. If you guys scroll down here, this is the total of the cruise, non-commissionable cruise rate, taxes and fees, gross amount $1,658.62. Please do not quote the net amount. The net amount is the gross amount minus your commission. Okay, average cruise rate per person, $713. This is $713 is from this number, right? So remember promotional onboard credit, it's an AUD. So that's going to be, you'll have to do the math on that, right? So here's your commission, $183.06. Deposit is such a very strange amount. So you guys can see here the agent view. You guys can also look at the guest view. This is going to show the itineraries. It's going to leave out of Sydney. Fun day at sea, Noumea, Lufo Isle. Apparently I can't. Noumea, fun day. So it's going to, I guess doing this Australia one wasn't a great example because it's so fluctuating. But right here it says all prices in USD. So these prices are in USD. For whatever reason, they're showing the promotional onboard credit in AUD. Okay, so here's all of that, that information. You guys can also come down here and you can share this quick quote with your client. Maybe you just want to send it to yourself so that way you guys can keep track of it. Okay, so that is the quick quote button. Now, if you guys decided right here, click on the balcony. Now it's going to have you select the room that you guys want to have for your clients. So it's going to show you all these green ones are the ones available. Select the stateroom. You guys can do that there. So you guys are going to do that. Then you guys are going to select a room. So let's go ahead and just select a room and then continue. See how I already had inputted the primary guest? It's automatically filling out the information. It has the email and phone number. Can go to next guest, then you would guest, and then you would put that in. Once you're done, continue to review. It's really just that simple to book. Now, again, if you guys decided you wanted to do a 4-person, we'll go back. We got enough time. I'll show you guys another one. Let's do it for 4. Let's pick August, sail to the Bahamas, ship. It's going to give us a lot more ships. Let's look at the Magic, departing from Norfolk, Virginia, duration set. It's going to be 6 to 9. Again, we're just going to throw in a state, select sailing. It's only if there's only one person over 55, that counts. They don't both have to be over 55. What is the best way to have access to everything on the ship without having to spend money on the ship? What all can my client purchase beforehand during booking to make minimal transactions on the actual cruise? Bernadette, that's great. So make sure that they do their prepaid gratuities. Make sure they book their excursions beforehand. Do their drink package beforehand. There's a lot of things that you can do beforehand that will help mitigate that, because I'm the same way. I like to pay for everything I possibly can. When it's 4 adults going, how do we book on Interline? So the Interline rule is as long as there's one travel agent in the room. So you can do Interline, right? You can do Interline. There has to be at least one travel agent in the room. How do you know what to tell them for cost? The total cost right there, I showed you. Is that commission amount that we put on our tracking form, or do we get 80%? So that it's 80% of the amount showing. Do they have to use cruise cash, or can they use their debit card if they need be on the ship? So Bernadette, when you're doing your online check-in, it's going to ask for a card on file. That card on file is you're going to have it on your CPass card. If they don't want to use that card on file, they can go to the concierge desk or the whatever they want to call it on that cruise line, and they can pay down their tab, whether it's on cash, gift cards, other cards, whatever they want to, but they're going to have to go keep track of that if they don't want it to, at the end of the cruise, hit that card on file. Katovia, and you guys, I'm so sorry if I pronounce your guys' names wrong. Understand that Interline is different with every vendor and supplier. With Carnival, we qualify for Interline. So we're going to go ahead. We plugged in August, the Bahamas. Now it's going to show us this cruise. So you have the interior, the ocean view, balcony, and suite. We're going to go ahead and select the sailing. If you do interline, do you still earn a commission? Sometimes. Every cruise is different. Oh, perfect. I love it when I pronounce things right. Drew from Carnival has a live from today on the Immersion Travel Cafe, and he goes over how to make sure your clients have all the pictures paid for ahead of time. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Drew's amazing. If you guys haven't met him in person, you guys should get to a convention so you guys can. He is a load of fun. All right, so now it's going to give us different promotions. This cruise qualifies for different promotions. So early saver bonus, New Year savings sale, early saver plus reduced deposit plus onboard credit, fun saver, and again, those tariff rates that nobody's paying for. He kills me with the what the fun. He does all the time. He's like, what the? And you're like, oh God, what is he? Fun. He's a hoot. Are we still doing the secret rate code? So it's not on there. You're talking about the PWP. It's not on there. So, and I believe also with the PWP at the time it was on specific sailings. So here's the rate codes, or here's the different available rates. So again, we're going to go through balcony, 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 balcony. Now, make sure that when you're doing this, every once in a while, when you put a VIFP number in, it may give you a Cheers package or a Wi-Fi package. It may give you some kind of package that they're available or what they're allowed to, what they have available. But check out the prices. If they aren't really going to drink, then you probably shouldn't give them the Cheers package one. So you guys can go through their New Year's savings sale. Let's go ahead and just click on this balcony. Again, here's those different balconies to choose from. Cloud9 Spa. Somebody recently asked me about Cloud9 Spa. That is going to get you into the thermal spa on the cruise ship. The thermal spa is included. That does not mean that there's massages included or anything like that. It just means the saunas and red rooms and hot and dry saunas and cold saunas and whatnot. All of those things are included in a Cloud9 Spa. So again, you guys can do that quick quote. You guys can see here. You guys can also add that travel protection. And you guys can see here that the gratuities are added. So here's that total trip cost, $2,894.24. Here's that commission, $328.76. Again, remember 80% of that commission is mine or yours, right? Promotional onboard credit is $50 USD. Deposit is $488. Due date is January 27th, 2020. Due date for the deposit is January 27th, 2023 at 7:54. So they're going to give you a couple of days to produce that deposit. Now, final payment due is May 15th, 2023. Now, you guys also, the deposit, you guys can use multiple cards. You guys can do more than the deposit. So they do have those payment options on there. So you guys can see that different information. Now, one thing I want to do before I hop off of here and get into your guys' questions, what I want to do is I actually want to show you some of the benefits that we have currently going on in the Travel Cafe. Anybody seen the new and exciting giveaways and whatnot that are happening? I know personally, I share that stuff with my team constantly. I'm constantly pushing that stuff out there. You guys, please go to your Travel Cafe. You guys can see right here. It's actually Carnival Week. And ironically, when we planned this training some time ago, we didn't know that it was going to be Carnival Week. So this fit in perfectly. So here is that Carnival trainings, but also down here, they're personalizing marketing cruise packs. So you guys can go shop now and get those. They also just announced this booking challenge. You guys have a couple of more days to get in those Carnival cruise bookings. Every time you book a Carnival cruise and deposited, not just booked, but deposited, you will have an entry to win. It's going to include round trip tickets for 2 from our home to any USA state port. So you're not going on like a European cruise or anything crazy like that. but a U.S. state port 7-day balcony cabin upgraded by Carnival to a suite. All port taxes, gratuities, and fees included, and they're throwing in $100 or $1,000 spending cash. So get on those cruise bookings with Carnival, get those advertisements out there. I am going to spend just a few minutes try to get through a couple of these questions. If you guys have questions, throw them in there. Like I said, I know I'm trying to respect everybody's time. So let me try to go through some of these questions with you guys. Drew is a ball of energy. Yes. Do we get questions for cruise? Or we get question for cruise excursions and packages? Sorry, no, didn't. Okay, so iPhone commissions on. I know that they're making some changes with excursions and drink packages. Generally speaking, they don't, but you never know. They might change it. They may have changes in the works, but typically no. Can you go on a cruise without buying a drink package? Absolutely. You don't have to buy a drink package if you don't want to. What drinks are free on the ship? So typically on board the cruise line, you will get water, generic coffee, juice, and tea. So now some cruise lines, and I'm trying to be generic because I know you guys are asking generic questions in general about cruise lines. Every cruise line is a little bit different with that. So if you want bubbles, if you want soda, if you want fancier coffees, you might have to purchase, you're going to have to purchase a coffee cart or soda package, or the Cheers package, which is the alcohol. Is there a list somewhere what the rate codes mean? No, that I know of. Nope, but the rate codes don't necessarily, you don't need to memorize the rate codes. Just go in there and read what the rates are. I was told you. Correct. You have to have, sorry. I was told you can't add packages or excursions until the deposit is paid. Yeah, you can't add. Remember how I said, let's make sure that you got the cruise going before you start adding the excursions and you start adding drink packages. A lot of cruise lines, they won't even let you add that stuff until a couple of months out. So yeah, you have to have it at least at the minimum deposited in order to start adding that stuff. Same thing with airfare. There's air to sea programs. You can actually get airfare through cruise lines, and then they can guarantee those sorts of things. So, but again, you can't do it until they've been deposited. I signed up for a reunion cruise group under someone else. Can I go back and get credit as a travel agent? So that is a bit difficult because you are involved in a group rate. If you were to go and try to claim the cruise yourself, it may default out of the cruise group, and then you'll be an individual entity. Then you will no longer qualify for whatever gap points they're using. So maybe they've thrown in, you know, gratuities or a towel or some kind of party or whatnot. So in that instance, you know, you might want to just stay in the group. I'm booking for adults. Will they all be in the same room? So you're talking about the inner line. So if you're, I believe you're the one, because it's not showing your name, and I apologize. If you put the cabin, you've put 4 people in a cabin, and you want interline rate, all of those 4 people are going to be in one cabin. I never suggest putting 4 adults in one cabin. I would never suggest it because somebody's sleeping on a bunk bed and somebody's sleeping on a pull-out couch. And being an adult, I don't want to do either. So, so unless your clients are wanting to sleep on a bunk bed or a pull-out, I would absolutely do 2 rooms. And the travel agent is the one that's getting the interline rate. So you're going to add an excursion or drink package afterwards. I always say it's best to call. I find that's the easiest way to call and add it to their booking. Are you asking? I'm not sure, Catherine, are you asking if they can set up auto pay? I don't know what those are about. I was there live. Oh, what Ron talked about it. Yeah. What forms have to be submitted to Archer when booking a cruise? Alicia, that's a great question. So when I was at when I was actually at birthday party, we went to the Archer office, and one of my agents, love Christine, she said, Krista, do we still have to do this thing? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask. So I asked Reggie, I said, Reggie, hey, back in the day, we used to have to send an email to Peggy. We used to have to send an email to Peggy and let her know about our cruise bookings. So I had a conversation with Reggie, and I don't know if he actually put the info out or if he's going to still put the info out, but sending the email to Peggy or to the cruise email, I just send them to Peggy. That is typically just for newer agents as they're getting used to the process, because what happens is emails get sent to, they inadvertently get sent to the Archer office, and they want to make sure that we're getting the information. Now, as you get used to booking, you kind of understand, well, I'm going to just send myself a copy and whatnot. So if you've been, Reggie's recommendation is any agent under 6 months or anybody new to booking travel should be sending in those emails. So the interline rate would be the only TA rates for us. So on Carnival, I know that there was a time where we had very, very, very discounted cruises. I'm talking, they were giving $10 cruises away. You had to click on Interline in order for them to populate our cruises. So if you are booking a cruise for yourself, please make sure that you're clicking Interline so it will show you those special rates. Thank you so much, Gary. Where do you get the booking number at? The booking number, like after you get done booking it, it's going to give you the reservation number. Obviously, I couldn't go that far because I'm not trying to create a booking and then have to mess up the system, because then it holds the room and then it falls off in a couple of days. But oh, you're welcome. How do we get in the training learn and earn section? It won't let me sign up. So Jessica, I mentioned earlier, a couple of people were having that issue. You may actually have to call Carnival and have them tweak that for you if it's not letting you in. Do you fill out a commission sheet after the final payment received? Lisa, always fill out your commission tracking form as soon as your client books. Always fill out your commission tracking form as soon as your client books. What if you forget to do it? What if you don't want to accidentally forget to do it, and then 6 months after your client travels, you're like, man, you know what? I never got paid for that. And they come back to you and say, well, because you never did your commission tracking form. And you guys have a limited amount of time in order to, if you didn't do your part, they can't do their part, and they're not going to sit forever, right? So make sure that you're doing that commission tracking form. If something changes with the cruise, you guys can delete the commission tracking form and input another one, but always do it as soon as. I will also tell you that it is imperative to do that, especially once it is final payment, especially if it's on a non-refundable, because I've been paid out my commissions before my clients have cruised. So if you wait till your client sails, you're still going to get your commissions, but you could have gotten them earlier. Now, I'm not saying that every single Carnival cruise pays out before they sail, your client sails, but if they do, it would be nice to get it when that happens. You're welcome, Debbie. You guys are all so welcome. Saying we can sit up. Yeah, here's the thing about payments, right? A lot of people say when they ask about payments, well, is there a certain amount done or a certain amount you have to pay every single month? You guys they can set that. Let's say you guys, I'm guilty of this. I do this with my cruises. I put the deposit down and then I do my final payment at final payment time. I hold on to my money and then I final payment it. I don't know why. It's not for any other reason I have no reason. I'm just like, oh, I guess I should go pay that now. So I have that with I have a cruise that I'm going on in September, and I'm like, why don't I just pay that thing off? I don't know. Just let it kind of sit there. When just doing the deposit portion, how can you tell the payment went through? I had an issue with this prior. So you'll put the payment in and it'll look like nothing happened, but you can actually go look at the balance of it. Because the first time I did that too, I was like, did it go? Because it just leaves it on the payment screen, but you can go and look and see, and you can look at the payments. Advertising. And I wish I had a live booking right now with Carnival, but I don't, or I would go in there and show you guys all the different options at the bottom of cruise. When just doing the deposit portion, oh, okay. Advertising brochures and banners, how are you able to place them on your social media website? I just apply them to my social media. I don't know what you mean by how do you apply? I put them on there. I upload on my YouTube. I do that as well, but you can use the social media. If they give it to you to use, you can absolutely use it. You're welcome, Kelly. So that's a good question. The VIFP number, you're going to get the VIFP number after you've cruised your first time. That's when your account is set up. After that, if you don't have a VIFP number, you're not going to have VIFP deals. So you're going to get a VIFP number on your first set sail card. It was on today's training with him, the group bookings on Facebook. Both Peggy and Jose said to send me group email. Oh, groups are different. Groups are a different situation. But again, I'm telling you guys, I had the conversation with them, with Reggie and them, and it is, groups are one situation, right? Thank you, everyone. Oh, you're welcome, Brad. How do you handle payments if 8 different people would rather pay separately and not all together? Do you have to book one by one, or is it easier to call? So Lee, I'm guessing you're asking, if it's 8 people, obviously you don't have 8 people in a cabin. So you're going to have, how do you have that split up? Is it 2 people per cabin? Do you have it 4 and 4? And then you can put in multiple cards. It'll allow you to put multiple cards in there. Send what email to Reggie? Still not clear about what forms are needed to submit it to Archer. I'm new. So Alicia, nothing is, sorry, from a new standpoint. When you're done with the booking, you're going to do a commission tracking form, and that's in the back office. And I know there's trainings on commission tracking forms, but you have to fill out a commission tracking form with every booking. When it comes to cruise bookings, you're going to send the booking over to Peggy and them so they can align and make sure that if anything comes out that you need to know about, they can let you know. Because you guys understand that when the cruises come into Archer's office, they just get a bunch of different itineraries because it shows Archer travel. It doesn't always necessarily say the agent's name on there. I missed that. I'm very upset. It's still on Facebook. You can go watch it. This has been so helpful booking 2 trips for my client, and you have no idea how much you helped. Oh, I love that. Update your profile and let you. The insurance is included in the end before you send quote. Yes, Diana. I always add travel protection. I always add gratuities. My clients can tell me to remove it, but I'm never gonna. That's just me. That's a standpoint for me. I add travel protection to every booking I do. You guys are welcome. How do you do a group tracking form? Galaxy Note 20. How do you do a group tracking form? So you're going to do and this is how I've always done it. I've done several group cruises. I'm guessing you're talking about a commission tracking form. I do a commission tracking form for each individual booking. You have given a lot of info. Hopefully not information overload. The advertising banners and the flyers, are you able to place them on your, okay, I asked that. Do you have a complete Carnival certification to get the No. Ooh, no. Can you tell me it takes long to do the booking process, even with golden tickets? Can you tell me it takes long to do the booking process, even with golden tickets? It takes to get Levi, I'm not sure what you're asking, hun. All right, you guys, I'm going to go through a couple more of these questions real quick. It was later that night. I put in the commission that was on the site. Do I need to change that to the 80% amount? Or no, don't worry about it. They'll pay out what gets sent to you. I've not booked a cruise yet because I feel a bit intimidated. Thanks for this training. I'm ready to go now. Awesome. I love that. You guys, and like I said, I know I gave you guys that YouTube earlier. Please check out there. If you guys need any further whatnots on there, you guys can check that out there too. Especially group bookings. If you guys have questions, because I actually did a one-on-one with Drew, and Drew personally taught me how to do group bookings. And then I turned around and I recorded what Drew taught me. So hop in there and read that. You're welcome, you guys. So I'm so new, but this info is great. I want to know more about booking for ourselves and what about our families. Absolutely, right? Become a, you're a travel agent, start traveling, right? My son age requirement was not met for the VIP account. I'm a gold member to Carnival. This helps me with my bookings now that I am agent. You're welcome. Holly, thank you. Cruising Krista, Cruise Queen. I love it. I love it. All right, guys. I think I've reached the bottom. Yeah, absolutely. You guys can do mock bookings. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure walking you guys through Carnival.
All righty. Thank you so much, Krista, for that wonderful training. We appreciate you so much. And I know everybody has learned a wealth of your knowledge that you have taught today. So if I could get everybody to just hop in the chat box and just thank Krista for gracing us with her time. We are going to actually have her back again next Wednesday, and you do not want to miss it. All right, guys, you don't want to miss. Look, she's shaking her head. You don't want to miss it. I think she's saving the good stuff, the best stuff for last. So you guys don't be late next Wednesday. All right. So again, thank you, Krista, for training us today. I just want to turn it back over to our 1-star platinum, Mrs. Nina Jackson Mitchell. The reason why we do walk through Wednesdays. So everyone enjoy the rest of your Wednesday and have a great week. Good night.